I'm refreshing my internet. You do that. That's right. I thought this was private. All right, I think we are live. Yes, we are live. Give me just a second. Just a second here. All right. Hold on. Okay. All right, I think we are live. Yes, I believe we're live. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure all this out. Share. Okay. I see you. I see you. Hold on. There we go.
Awesome.
Probably better this way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Okay.
Yes. I had to put a virtual background because this room's a mess.
I like it though. That's cool.
All right. Okay. All right. We're good.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. I'm just sharing it on my thingy here.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I was gonna be cute and put my earrings on, and then I was like, well, can't do that with the headphones.
Yeah, with the headphones. I
Yeah.
thought about it and then I was like, I might need to. I thought about not putting the headphones on, but then I was like, hold on. Then I thought about the output is gonna go into the mic.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's nice to see you.
I know. It's nice to see you too.
It's been a minute.
I know. So long.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Forgot. So, just for whoever joins, I guess,
Yeah.
we are going to talk about. I've been following the trial. I think it's been 2 weeks now, maybe,
It seems
that I
about
started
that.
following. Because I believe I started when Johnny was still testifying. like
Okay.
his testimony or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I didn't, yeah, I think I started when he was testifying. I didn't get to, oh, actually, yes. No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I did. When, I don't know if he finished and then the cops were testifying.
Okay.
Um, then I think that's where I started roughly. And then ever since then, I've been um, watching every single day. And I watch it on Legal Bites.
Legal bites.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a YouTube channel you said,
Yeah, it's
right?
a YouTube channel. So it's part of what they call legal lawtube is what it is. It's like all these lawyers.
Oh.
It's like a community, and it's lawyers and then like nurses, doctors, psychologists, behavioral, like
Mhm.
health, or and also like body, or what is it, where they analyze the body language or whatever.
Oh, yes. Mhm.
So it's like this big, it's like a huge community, and like they're all friends. And she's so Legal Bites streams it all day, and they
Mhm.
have commentary. All right, give me a second, I have to answer this.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, so I've been watching her. Is there a lag? Is there a lag on your end?
Maybe slightly.
A little, okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
according to this thing, my Wi-Fi is unstable,
Oh,
but mine says it's fine. So
okay. I
who
don't.
knows?
I think it's good. So we'll just roll with
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she streams it. She starts, at least my time, she starts
Mhm.
at, I don't know if it's 5:30 or 6:30,
Okay.
because I think the trial starts at 6 because it's 9 their time.
So this
So
is where is this at in the?
it's in Virginia. It's Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I watch her live because she'll have it. She'll have the live stream, and then she'll have the their commentary, and everybody's like popping in and out of the live
Mhm.
stream.
Yeah.
So they give their commentary. They try not to talk too much, but I mean
Right.
they're there to do some commentary. So,
Mhm.
and I really like it because they kind of explain more of the law things that we don't understand. Well, at least I don't understand. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Yeah.
that
Right.
makes a little bit more sense.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of
So
wanted to go into this like not knowing too much because I wanted you to like tell me because I was like,
oh,
well,
okay.
if I knew everything, I was like, it would be just kind of like so. But you can kind of tell me, and then I can kind of
Yeah.
go
Well,
react
I mean,
based on.
it's like at least I'm coming at it from, it's like I was telling my boyfriend, but he doesn't really like care.
Mhm.
So like with me, it's like starting out, like I didn't know what was going on. So I know Johnny Depp, like I know him because obviously he's been in very famous movies,
Oh yeah.
big movie roles, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like I know him because of that, and I guess I was like, with every celebrity, I guess I'm really like not bothered. Because it's like I'm not a big fan of them, but like
Mhm.
they're good at, like, he has a
They're
talent, and
people. They're
he's,
people.
yeah, like,
Yeah, they're
he
just
has a
people.
talent and he's a great actor. Like, you got to give him
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
like when I saw all this commotion about the trial, and I was like, okay, like, let me see, it gives me something to do because
Yeah.
I'm bored
So
half the time.
if from my understanding, this started a while ago. Like not this present trial, but like what it's about. It had started a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah. So there's
okay,
just so much information to go through.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
we can kind of
So
start from the beginning, and then
okay, yeah. So the main thing, for whoever rewatches this or watches it during the
yeah.
right now. So what's going on is the trial is because he is suing her for $50 million for defamation.
Oh
So
yeah. Okay.
at least some common sense about the law or like lawsuits, like defamation is one of those things that is really, really hard um to prove
Right.
because freedom of speech and all this other shit.
So if I remember correctly, I don't know. So is the defamation because of her allegations against him years ago, or am I wrong?
So the reason for the lawsuit is due to an op-ed that she wrote, so an article.
Okay.
Because the
So it
op-ed
wasn't
is
just so okay.
yeah,
So it
so
was the op-ed.
it
Okay.
was an op-ed, in other words, an article. I know op-ed, OP stands for something. They said it, but I don't remember. Um,
That's right.
yeah, at this point, the fucking
Mm,
op-ed is what is being. So he's suing her for defamation because he did lose Pirates of the Caribbean 5, I
the
believe.
okay. Am
So
I
Disney did, yeah, so um and I believe this op-ed came out, from what they're saying, December 2018 is what I'm my
okay?
understanding.
Okay.
Um so he lost his contracts with Disney and the Warner Brothers, I
Mm,
believe. So he
yeah.
lost $1 million roles. Like,
Millions of dollars. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what he's suing her for. Now she's countersuing for $100 million. But the thing is, like,
Okay.
they in court, why the trial is so long is because they have to prove the defamation, and it goes back to like when their relationship started, how it
Hmm.
went. Was she really a? Because the op-ed is regarding her being a victim of domestic violence. So they have to prove that she was actually a victim of domestic violence.
Hmm.
For her allegations against him
To be right.
to
To be okay.
yeah. So in the article or the op-ed, whatever, she never
Hmm.
mentioned his name, but it was
Okay.
because due to their relationship and their divorce, in their divorce, she cannot speak on his name in any negative or article or something like
Really?
that. Yeah. So legally she couldn't say his name or refer to him, but she still did refer to him just in like a broad way, I guess. But everybody that read that article
Knows.
put two and two together, and they knew she was referencing him.
Hmm.
But what she's fighting is that it wasn't about him, it was just making awareness of this the DV or whatever, the DV situation.
Okay.
But and she did it just in time when the Me Too movement was at its highest.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what the Me Too movement
Yes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because I remember back then it was like everyone was against him. Like I remember seeing it, and yeah, and I was like, oh, and then it just kind of like went away, and then
Yeah.
like no one talked about it anymore after that, and then now this, and it's like totally flipped, and which I can understand. Like now learning more, it's kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
for both of them, and the whole situation's messed up. To
Yeah,
you know,
it's really really messed up.
first and foremost.
Yeah. Because a lot has come out in
Mm-hmm.
this trial. Like um so in the op-ed she refers to as her past relationship, and her past relationship was, or her past marriage or something like that.
Yeah.
She was um she was being supposedly, abused or whatever.
Right.
um but the thing is, everything that has came out from that, like pictures and stuff, nothing
Mm-hmm.
really proves that he, like, all her witnesses have testified that
Mm-hmm.
they've never seen him hit her.
Okay.
And like the thing is, like, her best friends and all these people were living in his house, in his homes, like his properties. And he
Mm.
would fly them out, he would take them on extravagant um
Hmm.
trips and stuff.
Okay.
So they've benefited from his money.
Yeah. So it's
So
so it's kind of like, well, do we believe them? Because it's like, well, since they're profiting off of what he's been giving them,
yeah.
and is he doing that to keep him quiet? Like, there's a lot of questions.
Oh yeah,
Like
there's so many
that's
questions.
interesting. And I don't want it to make it sound like I'm taking either side here, but that's
Mhm.
just something that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
So
interesting to
right.
know.
So like when I started watching the trial, like I told you, like I didn't care like for Johnny Depp. I wasn't like a pro Johnny because I'm a fan. I don't really care,
Yeah.
no. But I didn't know who she was. I didn't even see Aquaman. Like I knew the movie, but I didn't even know she was in that movie.
Yeah,
So,
because I
and
mean,
that
when you
was
think
her biggest role.
right, so when you think of Aquaman, you don't think of
You don't think
in
of
my
her.
no, in my opinion,
Mhm.
you don't think of her. But that's just me. I mean, but yeah,
You really don't. Like you really don't
I
think
think of
of.
Jason Momoa. So
Right, right. And everybody
okay.
says that, like, because her talent manager testified, I believe yesterday, and was like, or yeah, yesterday, I think, and she
Mhm.
was like, Aquaman was one of the most successful movie of all time, which I don't know because I heard that it made billions of dollars,
Uh huh.
but I don't think it's the most successful of all time. I think maybe
I don't think
I
so
think
either.
it's DC or the production company. I think it's their biggest
Yeah,
movie
I would say
yet.
that. I would say that.
Right,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
her talent manager was like, yeah, it's the biggest the best movie of all time, and I'm like, I don't even watch those movies, and I know that's probably not true.
No,
So
I would for DC, I would say that it is. Um,
yeah,
but and maybe even for the time, like at that particular year that it came out, that was probably the biggest movie that year. I would say that as well. But
yeah.
yeah, that's reaching. You
Right, right. And a lot of
know.
people are like, what the hell?
Mm,
No.
I mean, other than
Even I
that,
know that, and I'm not a big fan of like DC and Marvel and all that ish.
so
Yeah. So so it's just so like, so when Johnny testified, a lot of his drug addiction, drinking and stuff came out, and
okay.
he never like he never said oh no, this isn't true. He testified and said, yes, I have a problem with drugs.
Okay,
Uh,
so he owned up to his
yeah,
past.
he owns up to his mistakes and stuff, but he said I would never put my hands on her because of my childhood. His mom, I guess, abused him as a child, and he said I
Oh.
would never put my hands on her. And his ex-wife, the mother of his children,
Mhm.
has never came out saying that he was an abusive person. It's
Right.
only
And
her.
okay, so his first marriage, oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was because he met
Okay.
Amber in a movie he was co-producing or co-directing because he's also a director, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, back in 20, and we're talking about years ago, like
Yeah. Okay.
2016, 2013, actually, 12,
Yeah,
13.
so apparently they were married. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were married from 2015 to 2017.
Yeah, something like that.
And his first marriage was from
With
19 with his the mother of his children.
Vanessa something, yeah.
Okay, you said Vanessa something? Okay.
I believe that's her name.
So was he married to her? Like the that woman, cuz I see he was married in 1983 to 1985 to someone.
I don't think he married Vanessa. I think they were just in
Okay.
a
They were just
long-term
okay, yeah, I see
relationship.
it here. So they weren't married.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one. So he had a previous marriage and he had a previous relationship that resulted in children. Okay, just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify. Okay. Relationship that resulted in children. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Hold on, I'm
Okay.
just trying to.
Relationship that resulted in children. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
I was trying to make sure my internet, because this shit says that my internet
Okay.
is wild.
But anyway, okay. So
Hold on, let me turn this off. Okay, turn that off. Yeah, so that was really loud.
um
So,
okay.
it's just there's just so much information
Hmm.
that like you don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's so hard to just narrow it down to what information to tell you, and
Yeah.
then what I grasp. And as like I said, this is the thing. I'm coming from it in the way that I don't care for any of the two, but the evidence is what I'm looking at and what people are
Hmm.
saying.
Okay.
I'm going more towards his direction
Okay.
than hers because his line of events are more coordinating with the witnesses that she has too. When she went
Okay.
up on the stage to give her testimony, everything was just wild. Like
Yeah,
she
she
never
from
took
what
accountability for shit.
Mhm.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you hit him, say I hurt him, but like
Right. Okay, so this is so that's my understanding is okay, she was actually the one and not him. Like that's the whole thing, right?
yeah. So from right now,
Mhm.
they have proven that she's been the abuser,
Okay.
and a law has so they have to determine they have to um they have to what is it, they have to prove that she's the abuser and that
Okay.
her allegations are what is false, because
Okay.
there was also a trial, I believe, a year or maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, in the UK that he sued the Sun, which is a news outlet,
Oh
like
yes. Mm-hmm.
magazine, which he
Yeah.
lost because the UK, I guess the UK trials are a bit different than here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because they published a thing that said wife beater or something like that. And he sued them, and the Sun won, or she won, because she testified in that trial as well, and he lost it, but they used her testimony, parts of her testimony from that trial. They used it in this trial, and there's a lot of inconsistencies in her stories. And um from what it looks like, she's gonna be the UK's looking into prosecuting her for perjury, which is
Okay.
for lying under oath.
Yeah, from photographs from the trial, she seems a little unhinged, like, or how do I say this in the um just I don't know. It's a little weird. Um
Yeah,
so it's
it's just
interesting.
it's a lot of information. Like,
Yeah.
they were married, like she did drugs too, and that's the thing. Like, she just made it seem like he was the only one abusing drugs, when on their like wedding day or whatever, when they
Hmm.
went, 'cause he owns an island, so
Okay.
they went onto his island, and they were serving shrooms or mushrooms and
Okay.
MADMA or some ecstasy, I guess. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
And then, like, her sister taught him how to snort coke. Yeah, so it's like there's
Wha-
so many
Okay.
inconsistencies that I don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like an outsider, like, no, not knowing much about these people's lives. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything that I've heard and seen, I would definitely think that she is not a saint, and she never took accountability when she was on stage, or not on stage,
Mm.
but up on whatever.
Yeah, up on the stand.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm just okay. So I think I saw something that said that I don't know if it was either his daughter or yeah, I'm pretty sure it was his daughter said that she didn't feel safe around her or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
wonder like what made her like want to say all these things about him when it could be easily proven like that it was the opposite. I wonder like was she thinking about that and because I mean I know you have to she's it's kind of calculated to come up with this whole thing to like make him look a certain way to the public and that it's false or does she, in her mind does she really believe that it didn't happen that way so
yeah.
that's
Well, so they had experts testify that I don't believe they said she has border personality disorder or something like
borderline
that.
yeah
Yeah. They
it
didn't
so
test the it wasn't diagnosed, from my understanding. She has
okay
the characteristics of that,
but she wasn't
and
diagnosed
yeah,
because
she
I
wasn't
saw
diagnosed,
because
but
I
she
yeah I
was
saw
diagnosed with PTSD.
okay, but I saw people talking about what you were saying, and so I wonder because I saw that in a few articles that she had some sort of thing, but then a lot of people were saying that they have this same thing too, and it shouldn't like make you that way, or do
Yeah,
things that.
yeah,
So it's a little confusing. I don't know. I don't know how it was brought up, or what it actually is, or if she was actually diagnosed with whatever they said. um but yeah, that's interesting too. I would have never known, you know
yeah,
but and then I feel like Twitter does a very good job of like making her really look, just like I said, totally off, like the wall, like
yeah. So I've skimmed through like what they're saying about her, or
mm,
what they're saying about the whole trial,
mhm,
and give me a second. Yeah, so like but from what I've heard and what I've seen, because I've been really seeing these like live streams,
mhm,
and some of them on their channels they review and they go over the articles that have came out. But from what it seems like, because
mhm,
during the trial she fired her PR team, and then she
mm.
hired a new one, and they came out with they've been coming out with these statements that are really not working to her favor.
Yeah.
And the articles and stuff have just been more, from what it seems they've been leaning more pro Amber
Okay.
than pro Johnny, or being neutral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think because they know that from all the evidence, like it's not looking good for her, in other words,
Mm-mm.
at
Mhm.
all, because like there's the cross examination of her was amazing. Like
Okay.
that's why the lawyer is being very praised, because she did a very good job, from
Yeah.
my understanding as an outsider.
Yeah. I saw people. I think her name is
Camille
this.
Vasquez.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw but I didn't watch it because I wanted you to tell me like
Yeah.
exactly like what you saw, because that was one of the biggest days for this trial so far,
Oh yeah.
I from my understanding. So if you want to get into that more, or
Yeah.
where
So
where you're feeling.
it's just her. She just didn't know how. Um, it's just it's hard to say, because there's just so much they went through, like
Mhm.
with the questions, and the cross examination was brutal
Mhm.
for her, because at some point she was getting mad because Camille was like
Was
catching
staring into
her
her, yeah.
lies. Yeah, her lies were
Okay.
coming out because they were so inconsistent. So
Mm,
most of what came out was Camille, when she was talking about Johnny, she was saying, "Is it true or allegedly that he
mhm,
abused, or that he hates you," or something like in those
mhm.
words? Because they have to be very careful with how they word things, or else
Right.
it's like hearsay, objections, and all
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
crap. But she would say, "Yes, he abused me," like trying to say that he actually abused her. And
Okay.
then when she went to file the divorce and the temporary restraining order, um there was just so many inconsistencies. She went with no makeup, and she said she never left the house with no makeup, but her friend
That
was taking
that
pictures
part.
in the like inside the building of the court or whatever.
Mhm.
um so she was like, "Is it true that you knew the paparazzi were going to be there?" And because earlier in the trial she testified that she never left the house with out of makeup because she knew that she got followed by paparazzi all the time.
Right. And then that's when Milani Cosmetics, because I guess did she pull out her makeup bag and like say what she had, or
No, so her one of her attorneys, one of her lawyers earlier, I wasn't watching the trial when that happened, but I did see some clips.
okay.
Earlier in the trial, one of what is her name? Elaine is the lawyer. Bless her heart,
Hmm.
because she's getting she's getting crucified too.
Yikes.
She came out saying that that was the exact palette that Miss Heard would carry at all times in her purse because of the bruises that she had to cover up and all this other junk. But then
When I
Milani came out saying is that that palette didn't come out until a whole year later.
mm-hmm. And I was just like, wow.
And I believe they didn't bring that up anymore.
Okay.
Um, they
Yeah,
didn't
because
bring it
I
up
didn't see it. I
in the
didn't
cross
see it in
examination. They didn't bring it up.
okay.
Um, because but she said on the stand that she carried around a bruise kit, and as a theater, like all these theater people or like whatever people that do like costumes and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
a bruise kit is to make bruises.
Yeah, not to cut. Yeah.
Yeah, not to cover it up. And
Mm.
also in the cross examination, she said that Johnny broke her nose several times, but she would make red carpet appearance the next day and nothing was being shown.
Mm.
Like there was never any medical records of DV or SA, any of that.
Mm.
And she was like, um, is it true that there was never bruises? She's like, no, that's incorrect.
Hmm.
And then there one instance is when the cops actually went to the penthouse. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that she was like, they took pictures supposedly, her and her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they
Is
took
it the
two
one
different
where?
pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same picture, but one was with the light on and one was supposedly with the light off. And one
Mm-hmm.
was with
Yes.
the vanity light or whatever. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, and Camille came at when she asked her, she said, is it true that all you did was edit these photos to saturate, you increase the saturation? And she's like, no, that's incorrect. I would never edit photos. Bitch, yeah, you would. Like,
Come
you're a
on.
public figure. You know these photos get edited. Like,
That is so funny, but like not
I'm
funny at the
telling
same
you, it's
time.
like, and then the other thing is, early, I guess, before they got married or something,
Mm-hmm.
um, he testified that he wanted a prenup. He is
Oh.
a superstar at this moment, in at
Mm.
this point when they were together or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
He made millions. Like he had millions, or he probably still does, but
Yeah.
at the time. And then she testified that she was the one that wanted a prenup and he didn't want to. Like, bitch, you even said when your opening testimony was, I am from this small town in Texas that probably nobody knows. And you're gonna tell me that you're the one that wants a prenup? When you literally your biggest role was when you were married to Johnny Depp, and most likely he had connections behind the scenes to get you that audition for Aquaman. Like,
Mm.
that is just so hard to believe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
So, okay.
and then but then when they were only married for, I believe, 15 months or 13, I'm not sure.
It looks about that.
Yeah, they were married for not even a little bit over a year. And then in the divorce settlement, you wanted $14 million. $14 million, and you wanted a prenup.
Mm, mm, mm,
Make
mm.
that make sense? Like, and
Mm.
then so not a, and the divorce came up because that was a whole nother fiasco with her.
Oh no.
So she wanted 14 initial. She
Initially.
initially she
Mm-hmm.
wanted 14 million tax free, because you know how much that tax is worth, gonna what he would have to pay on 14 mil.
Mm.
So she ended up with 7 mil, saying that she was going to, and this is where they prove dishonesty and lying, where she's lying, where
Okay.
she said she got 7 mil, and she, right after they settled or whatever, she went on these interviews or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
she said that she was gonna donate, that money was for donations to the ACLU that they keep mentioning, and
Mm-hmm.
then some, children's hospital in LA or something like that. Um, that she didn't want 1 cent of it, but she was donating them to those two, tax free, so she can have the tax write off for charity.
Okay.
But she
Okay.
demand that that money be paid to her directly, and then she would pay it to the charities. But and she said, because they told her, like, we, if you're gonna donate it, we can donate it. We can just go straight ahead and, you know, half and half to each of these charities. But she didn't want that, because she demanded that if he did that, he had to pay them in full right away. He could not make payments for a long period of time. But yet,
Wow.
but yet, this is where she's an idiot, because she turned around, wanted the money to go straight to her account or be paid to her. Obviously, nobody has 7 million. They probably
Right.
do. They will
Mm-hmm.
have to pay it over time. It
Mm-hmm.
took them a year, I believe, to pay 7 million, or him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She pledged. In other words, pledge means, and this is the thing, like, this part kind of frustrated me, because
Okay.
Camille, she did a great job, for a lot better than I would ever do, because I'm not a fucking lawyer, but
Right.
I would have brought out the fucking definition of pledge and donated. Because
Mm.
how are you gonna say pledge and donated are the same word, same meaning? No, it's not.
Yeah.
She's like, well, pledge means paid.
No. Mm-mm. No, it
No,
doesn't.
bitch, it does not mean paid. Like, you learned this in school, because she was like, because Camille kept asking her, is it true that you never donated your full? Because at that point, because she never donated a cent. Because right before the divorce,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp sent, his lawyer sent $100,000 to each of the charities that apparently, according to her, never counted towards her pledge, but actually did, because they tested the ULCLA or whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
they testified that it did count. That they ended up counting it towards her pledge, and then Elon Musk donated, because after they got divorced or whatever, she dated him for like a month or so, I believe.
Yeah, it was really short.
Yeah. So he donated money on her behalf. So she
Mm.
never donated that divorce settlement anywhere.
Yeah, she pocketed that, and like,
Oh yeah, she did.
I was just looking, and she had a baby via surrogate last
Mhm.
year, and
That's
so
another thing
yeah, and I'm
that I
like,
was like,
wait,
you guys are missing a huge part, because, like,
where
hello,
where this baby come from?
a surrogacy is not cheap. Like,
Yeah, And so like that it I mean, that right there just like proves to me that she just took that money and saving it up to to do this. So
Yep. Oh, and that's
because
the thing. So she so after the 14 or the 7 million that she never donated, um and then she told in the courtroom that she pledged it, in other words, that was paying it or
mhm,
donated. And they were like, no, that does not mean the same thing.
mhm,
And so Camille was like, you wanted that money for yourself.
mhm.
And she's like, no, that's incorrect.
Yeah, if I hadn't just looked at, I mean, it's clear as day that that's what. So,
Exactly. And I'm just like, and they proved it because she's like, well, I couldn't pay it because uh Johnny Johnny sued me. No, you've had the money for over a year to pay those charity contributions, but you
mm-mm.
chose not to. And there is people that testified that you were going through a financial hardship. How? You got 7 mil.
Plus whatever, I mean, she's been in things that probably earn revenue, like, since then.
Well,
So,
she was in Aquaman, and she only made $1 million off Aquaman. You made 7 times more in a divorce
right,
settlement.
right. But but she was also, I wanted to say, um, she had a campaign with L'Oreal at one point.
Yeah,
Or,
well, she did have a contract with L'Oreal, which came up in the courtroom.
yeah.
But L'Oreal, um, she had it for a year,
Okay.
and then she had it for a year, and they only extended it for 3 months. And then I guess during those 3 months, it was just more like a month to month thing. And
Okay.
she shot footages, and then the thing is, allegedly, um, lawyer, Johnny Depp's lawyer, did some statements, put out some statements in, um, was it put out some statements in the press, which
Mhm.
her legal team is trying to say that because of those three statements, she lost a lot of deals. And
Mm,
in those deals, L'Oreal, she shot footage, and L'Oreal said, we're not using this material. But nobody says, obviously, these big companies aren't going to come out and say, due to these statements, we're going to not
drop.
work with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's what's going on
Wow. Wow. Wow.
with
Wow.
that. Yeah. It's crazy. It's it's
Yeah.
it's just a
I never,
lot of information.
I never thought like something like this would be something that people talk about like so much, but
Mhm.
obviously with someone like obviously like someone like him, it should, I guess, be. But I just hate that because I feel like this should be private. I don't know. It just feels like, and then some people, I feel like it's like a TV show to them. Like, no, these are like people's real lives and like things that are happening.
Yeah.
So like, I,
Well, so he asked for this to be a public thing.
okay.
So he asked because he wants he's so he testified. When he testified, he said, regardless if I win, I will never be the same Johnny Depp,
Oh.
because because he's putting it out there that he was he was in a victim of domestic violence,
Mhm.
and the thing is, like, people think that men don't go through that,
Right.
and and like I said to as I talked to this girl on Twitter, um I was talking to her about, she's been following the child too, and I was
Mhm.
like, or no, like I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm not saying that he probably didn't hit her or he probably didn't do it and he's a saint. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Mhm.
at that point, like, what do you do when somebody's abusing you? You know what I mean? You're going to
Mhm.
respond. Like, I would respond.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
So, like,
Definitely.
he's not a saint, and she's definitely not a saint. But what I'm saying is, he probably was abused and by her, and everything points to that.
Yeah. So I wonder. So he hasn't said like, "Oh, she hit me," then I, in response to that, I hit her as well. He didn't say that,
Um,
right?
I
Because
think.
I know he mentioned. I remember hearing that he said that the only I like what did he say? Like I hit some plates or something. I don't know, something. So, but
Oh
never.
yeah, the video that, that's the other thing. She let it out in their divorce that she leaked it to TMZ
Mhm.
that she was filing a temporary restraining order. And
Mhm.
she was also the one that sold, allegedly, the video of him slamming cabinets and plates, of her recording him, but he never touched her. He realized he saw that she was recording and grabbed whatever it is, the iPad, the camera, or whatever,
Mhm.
and grabbed that and threw it on the floor. She
Mhm.
was laughing the whole time because he didn't touch her. It didn't reveal or anything of that.
Mhm. I just I just don't understand. Like it's so clear to like evidence like what's going on. So why even start this in the first place? Because it's not doing you any good. I mean, I wouldn't want her attached to anything that I was doing after this, and because it just doesn't look right.
Right.
And so
That's what, yeah, and that's what they're saying, is that both sides, like, they're both fucked up in all kinds of ways, you know?
yeah, I mean, I like you know, they always say like there's no such thing as bad press. Like as long as your name's out there, then
Mhm. And that's the thing
everyone's
with her. That's what she thrives on. That's what they say.
she seems like it, and I hate that her birthday is the day before mine because like I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm like
Oh, really?
yeah,
Jeez.
I remember that from like years ago, and then I was glancing to look at something else I had looked up about her, and I saw that. But um,
That's
anyway,
crazy.
yeah, for personality types, I I don't know, like based on zodiac, I don't want to be lumped in.
I don't
So
want to be attached to that lady.
no.
Oh yeah, and then today, her team brought out a, like, analyst or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, in other words, and like a software internet person, very credible,
Okay.
whatever. Like, he
Mhm.
graduated top of his class or whatever. He worked with Microsoft, some bullshit like that.
Right.
Um, so he came out. He did an what is it? An analyze. He
Analysis?
analyzed analysis. There we go.
Okay.
On on the hashtags to, I guess, their point was to reflect that the hashtags caused a negative effect on her career. And so they brought up two main
So she tweet.
hashtags.
So there. So were there? So was there tweets or Instagrams? I don't understand.
They were hashtags on Twitter.
Okay, hashtags on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, hashtags on Twitter. Um so when the
Oh,
cross came,
this was when she came out with the op-ed and was tweeting stuff, right?
also yeah, her tweet when she they thought it was a retweet, but it was actually a tweet
Okay.
that she did, and she put the link in that tweet, which brought up the other. So they're fighting the op-ed, and then they're fighting that she approved of the title of the op-ed, which I believe was it in
Mm,
reference to I don't know, Amber Heard is part of domestic violence or whatever, something like that.
mhm,
Um, and so she tweeted this, tweeted a link to the op-ed. When you put the link in there, I believe somebody that's 30 some years old and you're famous, you would know that when you produce a link or attach a link, that op-ed or that main shot is going to be on the tweet.
mhm,
So she was the point, and she said she did say that. She said it was the point was when the op-ed came out, I would, because she ended up also announcing that she was an ambassador for the ACLU, whatever place
mhm.
that wrote the op-ed that she wrote the op-ed with. So she tweeted that out, and they brought that tweet out in the trial, and they said, "Is it true that you tweeted this out, knowing that that title was on there?" She's like, "Well, I have no control over the link or the article or whatever.
Okay.
But you had the knowledge to tweet it, yes or no?" She's like, "Well, I have no control over." Take fucking responsibility. You tweeted it. You knew what the fucking title was. Like, and the emails came out because UCL whatever
Mhm.
um testified. One of the representatives there testified, and there was emails transactions between Amber and Amber's legal team stating certain things needed to be on in that op-ed.
Mm.
So it was
Okay.
like, you're guilty. Like,
Mm. Okay.
it
That
is a
does
mess.
not. It does not look good for her.
No, not at
It's not
all.
looking good at all. Hmm.
It
It'll be
was. It's just
interesting.
like,
So what's okay? So the rest of the trial would be
so she they haven't rest their case. So her legal team hasn't rest their case yet. They only have 8 hours left, and then Johnny
okay.
Depp's legal team, has 18 hours left. 18 hours and some change. They have, yeah, 18 hours and some change left. Which I believe they should be starting either Monday or Tuesday with
Okay.
their rebuttal witnesses. So they're answering to what Amber's witnesses have testified to.
It'll be very
Um,
interesting to hear that.
yeah. So
So.
they have so Johnny Depp's team will obviously have way more time because
Hmm.
Amber's team has lost a lot of time on these pointless witnesses, because literally they're all pre-recorded, so they're depositions.
Okay.
Um, which is pre-recorded. They have to edit things that aren't gonna go um into like the testimonies and stuff like that. So it's been very boring the last 3 days because they've
Mm,
been watching and listening to these people.
mm,
Um, her sister testified, and it's the only one that said that, which is another fucking mess because she's the only one that has said, um, yes, I saw him hit her. But
interesting.
she's also under perjury because she testified in the UK trial, and she's also put in articles that she was afraid of the sister hurting, or she was afraid that she would kill Johnny.
Mm,
And then there's a clip of her being, I guess she was in a reality show or something like that. Um and the girls in that reality show were like, "Is it true that your sister beat you?" and stuff like that. Yeah, that's why they're saying like
what?
she's not really a credible person because everything that has come out about her is like nothing makes sense.
Okay.
And like her testimony was very rehearsed is what they're saying.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised either because the whole family's a fucking mess. I mean, all these people like, and the thing is, like, Amber isn't humble. Like, she was like, she was like, when she was explaining like when they were getting married and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, we were gonna go live not only in one home but several homes."
Mm,
Lady, you're talking to people that live in the fucking country in Virginia, like. And I'm not saying that they're not wealthy or anything. Like by all means, they could be, but like,
yeah,
where's your
it's
humility?
different.
Like,
Yeah. Wow.
it's a mess, dude. Like a mess.
It
I'm just
is.
like, I'm like, lady, you're giving me a headache at this point. Like,
Oh man.
I keep changing this background.
I think it's cute.
I
Okay.
need a good one. I'm gonna blur out my background. 'Cause this brick stuff is not. There we go. Yeah, so it's cray cray, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Um,
It's so crazy. Like,
yeah, I didn't
and
expect it to be like
yeah,
that.
and like the people that I watch, I don't know how she's still alive. Oh, she's leaving. Oh, she just ended her life.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like there's people that go on her channel, the live that I watch,
Mm-hmm.
um, that actually have been in the gallery, like in the
Um.
courtroom. So but this is the thing, like I give them whatever, like because people have to, I guess they have to start lining up to be able to get a spot at
Mm-hmm.
midnight, midnight or
Mm-hmm.
one in the morning, and the
Oh
trial
wow.
doesn't start till
So you said
9.
oh, okay, 9. Mm-mm. Could not
Yeah,
be me. Couldn't
right,
be me. No. Mm-mm.
right. Um so some I one of them has been there almost every day for the past 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't show the jury because obviously can't show them. They're off
Okay.
camera, and it's gonna be a
That makes sense.
unanimous verdict.
Okay.
There's 6 males and 3 females.
Shouldn't it be? Never mind. I don't know. That
But
doesn't.
according to them, they're relatively young jury.
I still don't. That doesn't seem very balanced to me,
I know, and two
in
are
my opinion.
alternatives.
Okay. Well, I didn't
Yeah,
pick them, so
right, right. And they had to go
let's do
through,
that.
interview. They had to go through an interview because
Mm.
it's such a high profile case. And a lot of people have really like criticized that because these are high profile celebrities,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they're not even behind like what do they say, like those mirror windows,
Oh, okay.
so they're
Yeah.
literally sitting in the box
Mm.
being looked at by Amber. And they say like Amber has done a lot of shit that has really fucked up her own case
Mm.
because she like will change her like crying and then she goes straight face in like point 0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that, and that's I was like, that's just weird. It's very strange. I mean,
yeah,
I guess that's why they brought up the mental disorder to kind of to go with that, but I don't know.
but that's
It
not
just
even helping her either.
no, it just it mm-mm,
That's not even helping her either,
no.
which is crazy because most people that play the mental card, I wouldn't say men play the mental card. Some
Right.
people do have mentally they're not okay, and that's fine. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But like, I don't know. I guess from un I guess I wouldn't say I'm biased because I don't really give a damn about both, and I wasn't a fan
Mm-hmm.
of either. I'm just like going based off everything I've seen.
Yeah,
I think he right now is winning
for sure.
because so the jury has to determine who wins the trial, but
Hmm.
then they will determine like, is 50 million really a reasonable number?
Right.
I mean, he
Which
should at least
no,
get back the 7 mil.
I agree. I would agree. So
Like, yeah. And maybe I would say go up to 20. But we're talking about really big ass numbers. Like
Mhm.
numbers that would change our lives.
Yes. Just one of those
Probably for
millions would
them
do.
it's just like,
Meh.
you know what I
I
mean?
can,
For
I
them it's
can
like,
make,
that's just $20.
yeah, I can make that on a Saturday.
Right.
Just,
I
just
just
being
it's just
me.
so crazy to me how someone is just it's crazy to me how you're so, like a person cannot be so satisfied with their career and their life that they go out making these allegations.
That's what I was
Like,
thinking. I was like, what was her agenda? Like, what was the purpose? What was it? Just it doesn't
and it's
make
crazy
sense.
because a lot of like financial stuff has also came out on his part that he was spending money, but the years that these witnesses have talked about is the years that he was with her.
Mm.
So like a lot of like from my understanding and from what I'm getting is that his spending increased when he met her. Like
Mm.
she wanted wine that costs, what is it, $500 a bottle,
Wow.
and they just be throwing this wine bottle around like it's nothing. Like, no. And they made it seem like him owning a, what do you call those, vineyards,
Mm-hmm.
was a bad thing.
Why would
And
it?
his
That's an
lawyer was like,
that's an
it's an
investment.
investment. Yeah, it's an investment. Like he owns a fucking island for God's sakes. Like he owns a whole neighborhood and then has He purchased three different penthouses, or yeah, three that connected all three each other. Like, make
Okay.
it make sense. Like, all I
Wow.
see is money, and all I see is somebody that wanted money and fuck up somebody's career because she didn't get what she wanted.
I agree. And that
She's not a good
about
person, from what it seems like.
no. I mean, it's it's laid out for everyone to see, and so it'll come back to her eventually. You know, if it doesn't here
Yeah,
soon. So
yeah, that is just crazy. I don't know.
yeah.
People are, I don't know. I think the more money people have, the more problems, I guess.
Yes. It always creates some sort of different problems, no matter what. It doesn't. You can have the best intentions. You can be like the best type of person, and it still changes you. You know, one way or
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been I on YouTube. I've been looking at some TikToks.
Hmm.
Oh my god. I didn't. I guess I wasn't. I probably missed the part where she talks about the dog. Oh, and then she shit his bed.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
disgusting. Like,
I saw this.
she's like,
I
and then she
saw
testified saying, "I couldn't do such a thing."
on Saturday Night Live on Saturday this past Saturday they did a skit about that. That was, I mean, I
I'm
don't like
telling
making
you.
jokes about people's problem, things like but that is it. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
If if that's really true, then uh, people,
I'm telling you, this world
mm-mm.
just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
She had the nerve to say that it was her little Yorkie. How does a little, because it's smaller than my damn dog, and I know my dog poops, but his poops aren't as big as like a human poop.
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah, that shit's nasty.
absolutely not. No.
That
She
is
just
just
left it
nasty.
there. She just left, like,
Yeah, and she's like, I could never. So when she went up on the stand, in the summary, she said that all of his witnesses are all liars, even the cops. Everybody
you're
lying.
so dumb.
Everybody
Um,
lying apparently. And the thing is, like, they would ask her, "Where are these pictures?" And or like, "Did you take pictures of this?" And she goes, "Yeah, I did." And then there goes like, "Well, it's not an evidence." And she goes, "Well, I handed everything over to my lawyers. That's not my job." So now you're saying that your lawyers are refusing to put these pictures that help your damn case into evidence. I'm like,
well,
I'm so
mm-mm.
confused.
Yes, me as well. Oh
I'm
my
like, this is
gosh,
like
I can't
common
get over.
sense, lady. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. And she said
Oh,
that she didn't cut cut his finger, but everybody has testified that now this, who knows how it really happened, to be honest, because he said that she threw a wine bottle that was already broken towards him and it severed his tip of his finger. Her story was that he was banging this plastic phone against the wall next to her head, and nothing happened to her, but he severed his finger.
That don't make any sense. That doesn't make any
But
sense.
somebody else testified that he he severed his finger, or his finger was severed with a wine bottle, but I don't know if they said it was him or her. Like, so
Mm.
at this point, like, I don't understand. You do drugs. You don't admit that you like to do drugs too. You It seems like you staged a lot of photos that you've provided, and
Yeah.
apparently some photos and videos just automatically fucking disappeared because
How convenient.
yeah, and yeah, and like, so there's like a couple events that they that are very important for their case, for both of or this case.
Mm-hmm.
It was the main one was the one in Australia. That she's also
Okay.
getting prosecuted because she um entered their dogs without paperwork, or her dogs, because those are her dogs, not his.
Okay.
She entered Australia without paperwork of the, or without, she falsified a customs paperwork. So she's being prosecuted or sued or something like that
Mm-hmm.
in Australia for falsifying customs because of the
Mm.
dogs, or falsifying a
Wow.
paper. I'm like, lady, at this point, like, just take the L. And no, apparently you're asking for 100 mil, and he's asking for 50 mil. And who knows if he wins? How the hell are you paying 50 mil?
Mm-mm. Yeah. There's no way.
I'm like,
So
something's not adding up.
the math ain't mathing, as they would say.
The mathing. Um, the words aren't wording. I don't know.
No.
The lies are not matching anything at this point. And it's like the worst thing is that in the UK trial and this trial,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe in the divorce trial, because they both had to testify in their divorce or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've caught her lying under oath, which is, it's a federal offense, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a federal offense, and you could be incarcerated for it, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. I'm like, listen, at this point, yeah, I did it. I'm an abuser. Peace out. Like I'll do what I gotta do to pay the 50 mil, because I'm not about to be caught
Mm.
with these lies. Like, under oath, no.
Cause that, I
Like,
mean,
that shit's crazy.
yeah, cause that's like obstruction of justice,
Yep.
all the things. So,
And like,
wow.
the friends that testified are her witnesses,
Hmm.
she's no longer friends with.
Imagine that.
She
Imagine that.
she contacted them, I believe, like 2 months before the trial was gonna start,
Hmm.
to tell them, like, hey, can you be my witness?
Mm.
But that also didn't help her.
No. Wow.
It was a mess, dude, and it is. So the trial's almost over. This is the last week.
Yeah.
Um, Monday through Thursday, I believe it's all Johnny Depp's. They're gonna start their rebuttal
Hmm.
witnesses, and Friday, I think by noon, is what they're
Hmm.
saying. They have to be done with their closing arguments, and then the jury will go into liberation. I think it's called.
Deliberate, yeah.
Yeah, deliberation. There you go. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That is crazy.
I
And
wonder how long it'll take them.
who knows? Because next weekend is Memorial Day.
True.
So I don't know. According to the people that have been in the gallery, from what I've been watching and hearing on the lives,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of jurors have checked out.
Oh.
Like they're done. They're like, we've heard it. We get it. He's a drug addict from their demeanor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, according to the people that have been there in the courtroom, and according to them, I mean, they've done a lot of, they've observed, but I think they might go a little too far to say, oh, this person was looking at straight at me and making, because I guess according to, there's three guys, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
one day, and one of them, I guess two of them, I don't know, they might be very like when it comes to the legal stuff, they might be very known, I guess.
Okay.
And they said that Amber looked at them when she was up on the stand and like kind of smirked at them or something.
Mm-hmm.
So possibility, possibility, but
Yeah.
who knows for sure, because according to them in the gallery, um most of the people there are there to support Johnny.
Hmm.
And then there's people outside that are like, "Yay, Johnny!" when he passes by, and that's the thing. He's very respectful. He says hello, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
He says he waves to his fans. Um, and when Amber passes by in her car, or oh, obviously they're driving her, but
Mm-hmm.
she gets booed and stuff.
Oh, snap.
So like they're really not liking her, and like she's not. I guess she's just not a likable person. I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know.
I have always, to me, it never, she never seemed, I don't know, she was always just kind of bland to me. Like, she never really stood out to me. And I was just like, okay, that's who he's dating. Okay. Okay, now
Yeah,
they're
no.
married. And then, so, but
I
yeah,
didn't
but
know anything besides this trial. Like
yeah.
previously to this, like I did not know anything
Mm,
about both of them. Like I
mm,
said, I don't really follow their lives, you know what I mean? Or
yeah.
like at least listen to the spotlight when they come on or shit like that.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's like for if I were a juror at this point, I would be over it. I'm like,
Oh, for
we're
sure.
going, we're going on week 6, and according, I think to one of the analysts or lawyer, maybe I don't know. I could, I don't remember if he's a lawyer or not. He said that like most of the juries, will determine who's going to go, who they're, who's gonna win the trial in the first, I think, few hours.
Mm,
So at this point, like it's really hard to determine because we can't see the jury,
it,
and
yeah, no, that makes sense.
from what they're saying is it's mostly like Asians,
Okay.
Asian Asians, a lot of minorities.
Okay.
So I don't know. Um, I think as I would be a really good juror because I would be like, I don't know these people. Like, yeah, I'm sure these people have heard of Johnny Depp.
Hmm.
Somebody has seen Pirates of the Caribbean. Somebody has
Yeah.
seen Alice in the Wonderland because he's in that, which I did not know.
Yeah, he played. Yeah. Hmm.
He played Mad Hatter, I think.
Hmm.
Is that his name?
Hmm. Yes,
Um,
but
he's
he was like the heartthrob in the '90s as well.
mhm,
So like even before like him being in Pirates of the Caribbean, he was like one of the young Hollywood heartthrobs,
yeah.
back then. So
It well, he's like I didn't know he was like 50 some years old.
yeah, because she's younger.
She's 30 something.
Yeah.
And there's a recording of him saying, or I don't know if it's a recording or his psychologist at the time. I don't know. His
Hmm.
therapist, I think. Um, I don't know if it was him that said that he didn't want to get married.
Oh.
Yeah. There's just I think with him, he's a Hollywood star. Like his career boomed in like I don't know, a few years, you know what I mean? He became
Hmm.
a mega superstar. Like,
Yeah.
and at that point, what what Hollywood star is not a drug addict or has not gone down the path of drugs? It's a very small percentage
Hmm.
of the ones that haven't. You
Right.
know what I mean? So like bringing that up, it's just like it's Hollywood. You see
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan, all these young actresses, they've gone down that road too.
Hmm.
And it's like I don't know, like I don't know, like he's best friends or was or is, I don't know, with Marilyn Manson. I don't know
Okay.
who that is, but she comes up a lot during the trial because I
Oh.
guess they were like really good friends and they would always hang out, do drugs, drink, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's like it's just with with Amber, it's just making it seem like women that it making it hard now. Like it's already hard for women that go through domestic violence,
Oh yeah.
and then now you're coming out like you came out with all these allegations. If it's proven, which so far it's been proven that you never went through abuse, um, you're making it even harder for women to come out.
That's
You know
exactly
what I
what I
mean?
said. Because
That's like out of everything, that's just like terrible.
yeah,
Like
that's
you are so worried about your image and publicity and being in the public eye that you are leaving so much destruction to the world, you know?
mm, yeah.
Like and then I get like he was quiet for all these allegations. Like he never came out and defended himself.
No,
And I
that's why it
believe
was
this is
really
the point.
surprising.
Yeah, this is the point of this trial is that he wants his voice to be heard and his experience to come out. Is it true or not? We'll never know because we were never in that room or those rooms if they
Right.
hit each other, you know what I mean? But like if it if if it's true, then men do get abused too. There's women out there that like to abuse men in any
Yeah.
way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's good for him to bring that out that men get abused too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a good awakening for him to realize. pretty legs and a pretty face can cause a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
So
For sure.
I could just
No.
imagine, like I can just imagine like the problems and the situations that happen with these mega famous people behind
Mhm.
closed doors if small I guess small but big things happen to regular people like me and you.
Mhm.
For us is big. At least
Yeah.
I guess in some cases like couple $1,000 big. They're talking about millions. Like absolutely not. Like
Yeah. Mm-mm.
let me be where I'm at in my life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm very much happy that I'm not in a situation like that. So very fortunate in that regard.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how the rest of this goes because it's crazy.
Right?
I'm trying to think. Was there
There's just
anything?
like so much. I just want to see what the end verdict is, you know.
Yeah. It,
Yeah. So I guess maybe we could do another live like midweek
yeah, that would be
to see
good.
how things are going. I'll
Yeah,
have to
we
take
can.
notes. It's that I watched the live like during my day, so I'm like making copies and doing all kinds of
Yeah,
ish.
we'll just have to watch like recaps and things
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so we'll do a live like midweek or so.
okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that
Yeah, because it's getting late for you, and then it is getting late for me, and I don't want to keep you
yeah.
up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But
So
yeah,
if
this
you
was interesting and
this was
fun.
fun. Yeah, it's
Ye-
nice to talk about these things.
Yes.
Something
And
different.
yes.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the replay, if you do watch the replay, leave a comment. Let us know how we did. Maybe if you have a comment that you want us to talk about in the next live, leave it in there and we will include it. Questions, concerns, your opinions. What do you guys see
Mhm.
that maybe we don't see? I know I watched the live full time. Obviously, Jazz probably has things to do as well. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So let us know, and we will be calling it a night.
Okay.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Good night, Jazz.